Welcome to Quick Shots, a short format traditional archery podcast, where we introduce you to some of the world's most influential traditional archers, and occasionally, some random dudes. Big shout out to our sponsors, Triple T Strings, ready to shoot right out of the package. Message them on Instagram or Facebook to get your professionally made string for beginner, intermediate, or advanced archers. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Quick Shots. My name is Mick Chambers. I'm here with Shan. Shan, how you doing?
Hey, doing great, Mick. Good to be on here.
Dude, I'm so happy that you decided to join this. We got this together really quick. I messaged you earlier today, and now you're on the show. And I've been following you for a while, man. I've been watching your YouTube channel. Love it. I've been following you on Instagram, man. You've been doing such a great job. And then kind of a little bit fall off here in the last 6 months, but I think we'll get to that and talk a little bit about that in your YouTube channel. If anyone hasn't watched that, it's Military Bowhunter. Sorry, tell me again what the YouTube channel is.
So the YouTube channel is Seasons Change.
Seasons Change.
Yeah, and then the Instagram is Military Bowhunter. But yeah.
Okay. So Seasons Change on YouTube. I think fantastic stuff. Your old catalog's still relevant. It's all good. It's all good stuff, man. It's really good. Anyway, hey man. So I've been following you, but I'd love to introduce you to our viewers and listeners. So can you do us a favor and just kind of roll over your how you got started in your traditional archery journey, your origin story? I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was probably like a lot of kids who get into this, just super into hunting as a kid. And I had like pellet guns and BB guns and cork guns. You know, I ran through the gambit and kept just stepping my way up. And I think at some point my dad got me a Nerf bow that shot like Nerf darts. And I used to hang my sister's stuffed animals up against the sliding glass door and shoot it with the Nerf darts, you know? So evidence of either being a psychopath or a bow hunter probably in the future. So thankfully I went the latter route. But yeah, I hunted with a gun for a while, mostly like small game and quail and stuff like that. And then I think when I was 12, my dad got me a 30-pound recurve, and I actually wanted a compound. And one of my buddies had a compound, and he had shot an antelope, I think, in Colorado. And I was like, that's so cool. Like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But my dad, not being into archery at all, went to the store and came home with a recurve. You know, he was just like, I want a bow for a kid. And they gave him a recurve. And that's what he came home with. So I've been shooting it ever since.
So how old are you now?
Just turned 30.
Wow, man. And captain in the Marine Corps.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. Thanks for your service. Really appreciate you, especially in times like we're going through now. I mean, I just love to see young guys in the Corps and just putting in the hard work, man. We really appreciate you. I just want to let you know.
Yeah, no problem. I love it. I don't even call it service. It's just a good time. So enjoying it.
We need more guys like you. And more trad archers. I mean, honestly, you know, like I've seen on your YouTube channel, your traditional archery journey and what you put in front of everyone, the information's fantastic. I think today I went back to review it a little bit, and you know, you did something on there's one video on a seat, you know, for what do you call those harness?
Oh, tree saddle you're talking about.
Pardon me?
The tree saddle, is that what you're
tree saddle? Yeah, tree saddle. I don't hunt that way, so I don't know. I keep forgetting the name terminology. So yeah, I don't, because it scares the crap out of me. But guys like you that are fearless have no problem with stuff like that, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so your dad got you a bow. You practiced with your recurve, and you just never looked back. Have you ever shot compound, or you thinking about it, or?
No, I mean, I've shot a couple buddies' compounds, but I think I got involved with a lot of shit talking early on, so I could never cross over.
That's awesome. I know, right? You can't go back because you called them training wheels for so long. You just can't do it.
And it's funny because before I even was a real bow hunter, I was like talking a lot of crap to compound guys. But then as you like mature and grow up, you're just like, oh, you know, it's all just people having fun. Like, who really cares? Or at least I have.
Yeah. Again, more people like you. We need just relax. Everything's good. We're cool. Just keep moving on with your day. So that's a great attitude. I feel the same way too, man. I don't make fun of compound guys. I don't make fun of ollie guys. I don't make fun of guys that shoot, recurve and don't shoot long bow, or shoot long bow and don't. I think we just got to all get along. I think, right? I think so. I think we should.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. The more time you spend in archery, the more you realize like we're all the same people, and we're all just like the name Archery Geek. Like we all geek out about certain things, and just because we're trad bow and we think we're like so simple and traditional, that's just not the case at all. Like, and some people do, and that's fine too. But yeah, I think the more time you spend in it, the more you realize that we're all just similar people. There's no reason to be arguing about stuff. But
no, and it's great to meet people like you and in the community. We have such a great community in the trad community. And like I said, there's so many different types of people in the trad community, and we just got to all get along. Anyway, so that being said, your bow's too heavy for you. So
I agree with you, Nick. I agree with you. So maybe just like the pride thing starting out, I just can't let it go. And
so let's tell our viewers. So let's tell our listeners, like what's your setup? Tell us what your setup is.
Yeah, so I shoot a Robertson fatal stick. It's 65 pounds at 29 inches, which is my draw. It's 62 inches overall length. And then for arrow setup, I shoot gold tip traditionals. And then I have a 4-fletch on the back. It's like a 3.5-inch 4-fletch. I just cut them myself. And then I'm shooting 300 grains up front, 100 grain insert, 200 grain broadhead. And then I usually put a little aluminum footer on the outside just to keep them all together. So it ends up being like, I think right around 700 grain, 690 grain arrow around there. And that's the thing about a 65-pound bow is it flings them, man. They're still cooking out of that thing, which is awesome.
I feel sorry for the animals that you hunt.
Yeah, I get pissed if I don't get a complete pass through and half the arrow buried in the ground.
So
it's hard to go back after that,
Dude, so tell us why you're so heavy. I mean, are you just because, or like give us the rundown on why your setup is your setup. I don't normally ask my view or my guests this, but usually they're shooting a lot lighter setup, man. I want to hear from you. Like you've been doing this for a while now. So tell us why that setup is so heavy, why you want your bow so heavy, why you want your arrows so heavy.
Yeah, I mean, part of it's probably just machismo, but
hey, that's okay.
Being a stupid Marine, but no, I'd say that I started with that first bow that I had was a 30-pound bow when I was 12, and then not knowing anybody and not knowing anything about archery, I was just like, I need a heavier bow to be able to kill something. So I jumped from that to a 60-pound longbow when I was like 14.
Wow.
That I got out of the Cabela's catalog, Once again, I had no idea. So I got that and shot it for a while. And then when I was looking to get a recurve, I got a 60-pound Predator recurve after that, just because I don't know, I liked the 60 pounds and I thought it was good. And I used to shoot a little faster, not snap shooting, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I used to just, as soon as I got in and like kind of put my head down, the arrow was gone. And then later, I started getting into like Tom Clum stuff and Joel Turner and all that stuff.
Yep.
But by then, I mean, after you've just been shooting that for so long, I just feel like you build up the back muscles, and it feels the same as shooting anything else. If I pick up a lighter bow, obviously it feels great, but I'm just so used to shooting that one now that I just stuck with it. And then obviously the benefits of like the foot-pounds of energy that thing's generating for an arrow, for a heavy arrow, is awesome. So
yeah, I think I was in the same boat. I mean, a Hoyt Buffalo that was marked 55 pounds. And I thought, oh, well, I'm only shooting 55, not bad. Then you take into my draw length of 30 inches, which I never did. It was up around 60 pounds all the time. And you're right. You just get used to it, and you get used to the flat trajectory. And it's just, you don't mind a 30-yard shot, right? Because a 30 and a 20-yard shot kind of have the same kind of trajectory. So yeah, I know what you're saying. I was just giving you a little hard time.
No, you're
I
right. I'm sure as I get older, I'll probably drop down a little bit. But for now, I mean, if you can send it, why not? You know?
yeah, yeah. If you can do it, why not do it? So okay, so you're a hunter.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Tell us about some of your success in hunting.
Um, Man, yeah. So grew up in California, um, and like I said, did a lot of small game hunting growing up. And I really didn't start deer hunting. I went to college on the East Coast in Maryland,
Yep.
and showed up, and I was like, man, there's a ton of deer out here. So I really wanted to get into it, and I had kind of really just started getting into archery at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, and I was just like, it would be so badass to, just be a traditional bow hunter and like not look back and just do that.
Yep.
And I started looking online, and that's kind of in the heyday of Trad Gang back in the day, which was super helpful at the time.
Yep.
I don't know if you got into that craze back in the day or
I did. I did. I was on all the forums. Yeah.
not. Now it's like a thing of shame. You're like, yeah, I was on Trad Gang. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, I think it was like 2009 is when I started like really looking into that, and it was super helpful. I got my bow all set up and was talking to different people. I actually met a guy, Chris Wilder, who's my friend today, who took me out for the first time bow hunting, and he kind of showed me what a white oak was and how to read sign and all that stuff. Uh,
Wow.
so yeah, Trad was like a super helpful launching platform for me. And then I ended up joining the traditional bow hunters in Maryland, meeting a bunch of good dudes. That's where met my buddy Dan, who also shoots the heavy bows and stuff, and just took off from there. But yeah, obviously started out very unsuccessful, like just getting winded. And I remember asking people like, "Can deer really smell that well?" And like
Yeah.
just stupid questions.
Yeah.
And then I think if you're just passionate about something, and that's what consumed all my time was, I remember doing homework in the tree stand while I was at the Naval Academy, and like barely passing during the fall semester because I was just so consumed with archery and bow hunting. And now, what is it, 10, 11 years later, yeah, I've gotten like pretty successful, and obviously always more to learn, but um, I just love it. So any kind of content for bow hunting is something that I'm probably looking at and looking to get my game better at. So
Yeah. And would you have opportunity out there in California now or?
yeah, so that's I've been adapting
Yeah.
as we go. So initially when I started coming here, I was like, because I grew up in Southern California, and it's funny because my dad is mostly a small game and like bird hunter,
Yeah.
so we never really looked at the big game scene. So I was a little bit terrified coming out here, but there's some mountain ranges nearby within an hour and a half that have black bears. There's actually a decent number of mule deer right here on base. Uh, and then there's Catalina Island offers like goats, and there's all kinds of stuff to pursue around here, which is kind of cool.
Um, I gotta hook you up with I had a guest on to Wingman 115. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, I've seen his YouTube channel for sure.
Yeah, he's right in your area too. And they
No
go,
way.
yeah, man. And he's
Yeah.
a super good dude, super good dude. If you ever get a chance to meet up with him and you guys are both in the same area, I think you guys would get along. Anyway, so that's interesting. So I've got a piece of video that I saw from you where you were going to move out to Pendleton, and you're like, oh man, we've got to do a test to shoot. I didn't understand it completely. I want to kind of go
Oh
over it.
yeah,
So is
yeah,
there a test to get to shoot on to get access to hunting out there? Or?
yeah. So you were for most military bases, there's some sort of archery proficiency test. Some don't, but a lot do nowadays.
Okay.
Especially because a lot of the archery areas will border like the more suburban spots on base. So they want you to be proficient so that you're not wounded in game. They're running through yards and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so the Pendleton archery proficiency test was putting 3 arrows or 2 out of 3 arrows in the vitals of a deer at 30 yards. And when I made that video, I didn't know if it was like the 10 ring on a 3D target or like the 8 ring. So I just made it the 10 ring for a challenge for myself. And it was actually really good training. When I got here, it ended up being the 8 ring, which was obviously pretty easy, but that was a good little training sesh. Yeah.
I don't know if I don't think that's easy at 30 yards to get inside the eight ring like consistently, but I know I'm not as good as you, but I'm trying. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm telling you, that's pretty awesome though. I'm glad to see that they do that sort of testing. Again, it just having this show has given me an opportunity to talk to a lot of different people. In the Scandinavian countries, if before you go hunting, you have to pass a test.
Right.
Here, like in Kansas, oh my gosh, they would never make you do a test. They would never do that. They would just be like, no, can you afford a bow at Cabela's? Yeah, off you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bit of a shit show. But
you're in Kansas, huh?
Yeah, I'm in Kansas. Did I mention that? Yeah, Kansas.
No, yeah, you lucky son of a bitch. That's awesome.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. I honestly have not been successful this year, so I am not, it's been frustrating a little bit. And I just actually I got home. I'm actually Canadian. I just got back from Canada for a little bit, so I spent the week with. So now I'm back in Kansas. I got to get after it though, and yeah.
At least the opportunities there, man. You still got some rut time left too.
I do. I gotta fight off all the rifle hunters though. I mean, there's you would think that Kansas we have a big archery population of people doing archery, but I would say the majority are probably gun hunters, right?
Okay.
So, and they'll shoot anything that moves.
Right. Including you. Yeah. What's that pumpkin doing up that tree over there?
I know. Yeah. That's a strange looking turkey up in that tree, all orange and stuff.
Canadian turkey, yeah. Yeah, I was actually I drew a Kansas tag this year. And I was just on like a 2-month training op, but we were supposed to be back November 1st, and I was going to take that next week off and come to Kansas and hunt. It was Unit 11, Southeast Kansas there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how close that is to you, but
super close.
Getting extended. So I had to cancel. I called up Kansas and they said they would refund me, but they took my point away. Or my points away, so I'll have to reapply next year.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I drew a good tag too, about 3 years ago, and I had already 2 doe on the ground by the time I decided I was going to go use it, and then I was like, it's like an hour drive out there to where it was, but I don't know why I didn't do it. It was an opportunity to get a big buck, and I just never did. I don't know whether I was lazy or what. But anyway, opportunity. I mean, they're going to be big bucks next year too, and there's going to be big bucks this year, and so I just got to get on one, man. And you got to get out too, right? You're crazy busy. I understand. You're saying.
Yeah, I am. So we actually we deploy sometime next fall, but I'm hoping with pre-deployment leave and all that kind of stuff that it'll fall during some good times right before we take off. So we capitalize on that.
Do they tell you where you're deploying?
They do. Yeah, we generally know. Obviously, it's always dependent on whatever happens, but we'll we generally know where we're going. So.
And you have but it's all top secret type stuff, right?
I don't know about top secret, but I probably shouldn't be saying it on an archery podcast.
No, I'm just wondering how. I don't really understand how the whole American military system works, but it just seems like you guys are everywhere all the time. It's like you blanket the earth,
right?
In protection, in democracy.
I know. We just need to schedule a break between September and November. You know what I mean?
Can they not do that? Can you not ask your commanding officer to hey, listen, I just want to let you know, I know I'm here reporting for duty, but I'm a hunter too. So, I need to fall off.
See, if any of my Marines came up to me and said that, I would be 100% lenient and understanding, but I don't know if my boss would be.
I don't know that you should be saying that on a podcast.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because they'll be coming up to you. All of a sudden, they're hunters now.
Oh yeah, I've seen it before. Hey, sir, tell me about hunting. I'm like, whoa, buddy, I know. We're supposed to be getting this thing done right now.
Hey, so tell us a little bit about your your shot process, because it's 65-pound bow. You got to work the back muscles. You're not pulling that from your arm, although you're a big dude. Like you're a strong dude. Just
Yeah.
just taking those videos and stuff like that, climbing up those trees like crazy. You're a big dude. But that's a Marine Corps.
Yeah.
That's a Marine for you.
Yeah, like I said, dumb, just very dumb. But the shot process, before, it's funny because I saw Joel Turner's stuff probably in 2017 or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like skeptical about it for a while. But before that, I had my own shot process where I would say something like draw back and aim and then start expanding, or so. It was like something super simple.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started getting into the Joel Turner stuff, and I found that it was actually super powerful because I could execute shots in practice by myself, like pretty well. But then at 3D tournaments or hunting, I'd start to get that bug. And so I really started looking for a pill that could help me out with that, or I could help myself out with that. So I got into his thing, and for the longest time, I said his like normal mantra, which is like, draw back and aim, get it done, watch it, keep it, and then keep
watch it, keep it. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I kind of just say draw back and aim, and then I just start saying expand, expand, expand.
Okay.
And I'm not. I guess I'm like part instinctive, part gap instinctive, or something like that.
Yeah.
I just like the way a certain gap looks, and then I shoot it. Probably mostly looking at the target, like 70% focusing on the target, but I definitely notice where my arrow's at the whole time.
Okay. And you're 3 fingers under?
Yeah. Yeah.
3 fingers under, touching the nock?
Yep.
Okay. And then you anchor, where do you anchor?
I kind of put my knuckle right behind my jawbone, and then my fingers end up like touching my cheekbone right there.
Okay. So you are pulling that back pretty far. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So you get to anchor, you expand, release, follow through. That's just your typical shot process, right? Now, do you have any, so you're saying your secret sauce is just doing that mantra over and over in your head to kind of overcome what might be sort of target panic?
Yeah, no, yeah, I think probably, buck fever, target panic, whatever you want to call it. It's helped me a lot on shooting game animals. And then I got that, the grip clicker, and put that on there. And I've shot, I think, 7 deer since I put that thing on, and I haven't used it on one of them. but I do think that, so while I was at like 3D tournaments and stuff like that, it definitely helped me separate the shot a lot more, to like draw back and aim. Okay, that this doesn't equal me releasing, and then getting into that expansion phase. And when I'm shooting in front of other people or just target practicing, I can do it every time. Okay. But it seems like most of the time when there's an animal in front of me, I will start into that expansion phase, and then the shot just happens before it even clicks off, which has worked out pretty well. But it actually helps me just get into that expansion phase and start the release process there.
No, that's kind of interesting. That's interesting. So when you're in front of an animal, it's more everything. Your mind takes over, and then when you're in front of people and you're on the line or at a 3D tournament, you are hitting that clicker every single time. Is that what you said?
Maybe not every time. I'll be honest with myself, but most of the time, most of the time. And I think just that like training helps me when I'm shooting at game animals to at least like start expanding, So I'm getting the anchor, I get like a pretty good aim set, and then I start expanding, and it usually goes off. And they usually end up being better shots than when you get all the way through the click. Yeah. Just because you're not like trying to muscle that last bit, it's just that like pure expansion, and it goes off. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm not pulling back as much as you, but so it's not real strength for me. It's just like, hey, that's the RMS gear palm clicker. Is that where you got that from? Do you know where you
I think they solid grip trigger.
Solid grip trigger. Yeah.
Yeah, RMS gear makes it.
Hey, okay. So then one piece of solid advice that you would give someone new, it can be for hunting or for any type of traditional archery shooting. What do you got?
Dang, I feel like probably a lot of people say to get instruction early on, and I would definitely recommend that. But for I guess just bow hunting, I would just say just get out there as much as you can. You know, just dive into the woods as often as possible. If you want to be successful, it literally takes getting off work, going in the woods before work. You know, hitting on the weekends, and you're not going to learn from just watching videos and reading books. Like you just be out there as much as possible. And if it's something that you enjoy, then that'll be a joy for you to do. So
Good advice. Put in the work, put in the time. Yeah. And you get results. I feel like that's, some people spend a lot of time, like they'll spend a lot of time on YouTube. And I used to do this. I was guilty too. I spent a lot of time on YouTube. I want to be prepared. I want to get over prepared. And then I never got in the woods. I was
yeah,
just like, I would go, 90% of my time would be studying on how to be a good hunter and 10% hunting.
yeah.
And I think it really needs to be the other way around. Because you're right.
And that's the thing too. Is a lot of times early on, I read a lot of John Eberhardt's books. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, I'm not. Sorry.
He's he's a huge bow hunter. He's killed like over 50 bucks in the Pope and Young record book. But he uses like scent lock, and he's like super careful about his scent and stuff like that. So I was a disciple of his early on. So I wouldn't do a lot of venturing around in the woods. I would like pick a spot during the postseason if I had the time, with deployments and everything, and then like bank everything on this spot, or these like 5 spots, and I would just continue to go back to those spots over and over again, and not do as much like in-season scouting and exploring. And I've found that since then, obviously postseason scouting is super important and getting out in the woods as much as possible.
Yeah.
But figuring out what they're doing in season and making those corrections as you go is just a super powerful way to hunt. If you can scout your way into the woods, this spot that you wanted to go to doesn't have fresh sign. You're like, okay, I'm not, held to this spot. Let me continue on and keep looking, and then find that hot sign, and then hunt the hot sign. Just a lot more productive. So not being afraid to just venture out and go wherever and just look for hot sign is a good tip too.
I love the way that, I'm talking to a Marine Corps officer, and everything's tactical. Everything's like, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. I love it. I love it so much. Hey, so thanks very much for being on the show. That was really good. I really appreciate you being here. If people want to get hold of you, remind us one more time how they can follow you and chat with you if they want to, or, just watch some of your stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, probably the best way to get a hold of me is on my Instagram, just at Military Bowhunter. But then also I do have my YouTube channel. I try and check all the comments, and that's just Seasons Change on YouTube. Yeah.
Dude, thank you again so much for your service. Thank you very much for being on the show in such short notice. Dude, I really appreciate you. I love your stuff. You're going to post more videos. I hope, because I do. You did a really great. Thanks, man. All right. Well, take care. Everyone, don't forget, shoot straight and just be safe out there. Take care, everyone.